North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has been making bold moves lately. He's reportedly sent troops to fight in the Russia-Ukraine war, destroyed a bridge to South Korea, and now there's a shocking new insider report. According to a recent post by U.S.-based scholar Woo Zuolai on X, a fax from Pyongyang disclosed that Kim Jong-un recently held a secret family meeting. One topic discussed was a justification for North Korean troops being sent to Russia, explaining that they are actually Chinese-paid mercenaries. Another point aimed to inform the world that the CCP encouraged Russia's invasion and is now locked in a partnership with Putin. Lastly, Kim Jong-un stated North Korea intends to reclaim northeast China while Xi Jinping is vulnerable. Here is a summary of what the facts contained. Before sending troops to support Russia, Kim held a secret meeting with his family. During this one-day meeting, he declared a wartime state, but only told his family members. He reportedly said, "National matters, global matters, their family matters." Since designating his daughter, Kim Ju-ae, as his successor, Kim has restructured power within his family. His wife and sister, Kim Yo-jung, assist him in governance. During wartime, Kim might hide in a secret bunker, and if he's killed, his daughter, Kim Ju-ae, would take charge, ensuring a smooth transfer of power. Most of the meeting content reportedly came from Kim, covering the following topics. 1. North Korean troops supporting Russia are actually mercenaries funded by Xi Jinping, with $100 million in resources. Russia offered North Korea rocket technology worth $200 million in return. This deal, valued at $300 million, would send 12,000 North Korean soldiers to the front lines in batches, completing deployment by the end of the year after training. 2. Cutting off ties with South Korea was a preemptive measure. It aimed to block potential attacks from the South and prevent mass defections. 3. Kim assured his family that North Korea would not be drawn directly into the war. He explained this conflict works in North Korea's favor, as Russia and China now depend on North Korea. He stated that North Korea will receive advanced military technology from Russia and food and currency from China. Kim said this war is a huge opportunity for North Korea and U.S. arms manufacturers. Meanwhile, Russia, China, and Ukraine will face heavy losses, and Europe will also suffer. Kim predicted Russia's defeat, China's economic failure, and North Korea's rise in global status. 4. Kim told his family to remain patient. He said that when Russia and China start to crumble, North Korea should be ready to reclaim China's northeast, either peacefully or by force. 5. Kim briefed his family on recent Chinese political issues. Kim claimed that during a recent CCP meeting, Xi Jinping faced backlash from Central Committee members and the military over his support for Russia. Xi reportedly became so frustrated that he collapsed, and Zhang Youxie saved him. Zhang was rewarded for this after the meeting. Xi is struggling to handle the situation. He's reportedly using health issues as an excuse to delay aid to Russia, but Putin insists on full support. Kim said Xi is trying to keep the U.S. happy by sending pandas while secretly supporting Russia. He added that the $100 million sent to North Korean mercenaries is just a small part of this aid. According to Kim, Putin warned Xi that if aid stops, Russia will deploy nuclear weapons close to China and directly target Beijing. Kim concluded that by siding with Russia, North Korea could use this war to gain control of China's northeast. Kim believes Xi is destined to fail. He said the increased military presence in China's northeast isn't to protect North Korea from South Korea, but to prevent North Korea from taking over. 6. Kim credited North Korean soldiers for helping the CCP defeat the Kuomintang. Kim reminded his family that after World War II, the CCP's win over the Kuomintang relied on over 100,000 North Korean soldiers and Soviet weapons. Without North Korean help, the CCP wouldn't have won. Kim added that China still owes North Korea half of Korea. The CCP's decision to send 1 million troops during the Korean War was justified. He stated that North Korea helped them unify mainland China, yet they did not assist them back in unifying with South Korea. He thinks, in that sense, China owes North Korea half of Korea. Woo Zuo-lai, who leaked this information, commented that after checking relevant historical records, Kim Jong-un's statements appear accurate and can be verified online. Kim Jong-un recounted, Mao Zedong once told my grandfather, Kim Il-sung, your ancestors claimed the China-Korea border lies along the Liao River, while ours said it's along the Yalu River. Now you've been pushed to the other side of the Yalu. How unfortunate. But it's not my fault. It's the fault of past feudal oppressors like Emperor Tang Taizong and Empress Wu Zetian. Didn't I at least give you part of Heaven Lake? Mao also instructed Zhou Enlai to cede 54.5% of Heaven Lake to North Korea. Mao hinted that if war came, North Korea could take control of China's northeast. Mao Zedong once conveyed another message to Kim Il-sung. He reportedly said, if war breaks out in the future, Northeast China will be yours. Northeast China has plenty of food and people. You need to be familiar not only with its mountains and rivers, but also with its local officials. This aligns with an article by Shen Zuhua, a history professor at East China Normal University. Shen also noted that in 2001, Kim Jong-il met with then CCP leader Jiang Zemin in China and requested to inspect northeast China. Jiang corrected him, saying that inspection is for superiors visiting subordinates, suggesting visit instead. But Kim Jong-il insisted, no, it's an inspection. My father told me the entire northeast China is ours. When discussing the goal of reclaiming northeast China as part of their homeland, Kim Jong-un was visibly excited. He stated that North Korea stands on the brink of a world war, and with the Baekdu bloodline, they are fearless. Although they put plans to unify South Korea on hold, he emphasized that this doesn't mean they've abandoned them. When the time is right, they will suddenly launch a war to achieve national reunification. 7. China as North Korea's 5,000-year adversary. Kim Jong-un shared with his family North Korea's long-standing animosity toward China. He said China has been North Korea's adversary for 5,000 years, and their history has been one of invasion and resistance. He noted that ancient Chinese dynasties like the Sui, Tang, and Qing tried to invade Korea but eventually lost their empires. Kim described these repeated Chinese declines as opportunities for Korea's growth. Each major collapse allowed North Korea to rise. He pointed out that other invaders, like the Mongols, Japanese, and Russians, also failed on Korean soil. He emphasized that North Korea's Baekdu bloodline is sacred and untouchable. He added that even the Americans stay south of the 38th parallel, unable to cross. North Korea's strength, he said, is letting others fail without direct conflict. 8. Kim Jong-un stated North Korea is a diplomatic powerhouse. Kim Jong-un stated proudly that North Korea has transformed from a warrior nation to a wise one. He claimed that without fighting, North Korea can now intimidate global enemies. According to him, world leaders like Putin and Trump look up to our great leader. He added that North Korea's partnership with Russia's forces Xi Jinping to provide resources and supplies. Kim argued that if the CCP loses, China could fall apart and Northeast China would return to North Korea without a single battle. 9. Kim Jong-un mocks Xi Jinping's leadership. Kim mocked Xi Jinping, saying Xi lacks independent thought and that the CCP has no strong foundation. Kim claimed North Koreans have a deep love for their leader, which he believes Xi can never achieve. He argued that Mao Zedong's ideology failed during the Cultural Revolution and that only failed individuals or troubled minds in China idolize Mao. Kim Jong-un mocked Xi Jinping for merely imitating him, saying that scenes on Chinese TV of Xi's inspections and crowds cheering for him are just copied from North Korea, with no originality. Kim stated that North Koreans genuinely love their leader, showing real emotions as they cry out their devotion. In contrast, he said Xi's displays are staged and fake. Xi tries to imitate Mao Zedong but doesn't get it right, and he imitates North Korean leaders even worse. Sometimes he even tries to copy Putin, but Xi won't go as far as showing off his chest or riding a horse. At this point, Kim's family burst into laughter. Normally, they don't laugh in his presence, but when it came to Xi, they couldn't hold back. This fax from North Korea could be a controlled leak meant for the outside world. While the authenticity is unverified, details align with recent unusual events among CCP leaders. This suggests a high chance that Kim Jong-un authorized this report. Reports confirm that Xi Jinping has been actively preparing for a possible invasion of Taiwan. The CCP's support for Russia in Ukraine and its actions in the Middle East seem to be moves to tie down U.S. resources and reduce its support for Taiwan. We've previously analyzed these strategies in detail. The CCP's strong backing of Russia on the Ukraine battlefield and its support of groups like Hamas and Iran further show its strategic goals. Earlier, journalist Zhao Lantian revealed that Xi's recent military crackdowns were part of his war preparations. A recent case from China has also drawn attention. On October 22nd, a recent college graduate from Nangfeng County in Jiangxi, known only as Zhang, was fined 6,000 yuan and blacklisted for refusing military service. Local government reports say Zhang voluntarily applied for military service in June. However, during pre-service training in September, he repeatedly requested to leave. On September 12, he left the training camp. Zhang now faces 7 forms of punishment. His record labels him politically unqualified for refusing military service, which affects his future job opportunities. Over the next 2 years, he can't travel abroad, pursue further education, or apply for civil service jobs, business licenses, or bank loans. His parents are also impacted as they can't apply for government housing within this period. Zhang's withdrawal has affected his job prospects, while his family now provides financial support. Public opinion has criticized the punishment as too harsh. Timothy Heath, a senior researcher at RAND Corporation, noted that countries like the U.S. and China face challenges with youth reluctance to serve. However, the CCP imposes penalties and uses deterrence. Since 2021, China's recruitment policy changed from annual to biannual. In 2023, the State Council and Central Military Commission updated recruitment rules to focus on college students as technical recruits. While the CCP doesn't disclose annual recruitment rates, local governments are pressured to meet quotas if military goals aren't reached. This coercive approach reflects a rising problem of draft resistance in China. Reports of youth punished for draft resistance have increased, spreading from developed areas to central and western regions. In February 2021, a young man in Ruzhou, Henan, faced similar penalties, including a fine of 36,000 yuan. The CCP now faces both draft resistance and rising youth unemployment amid a slowing economy. Estimates suggest there are 22 million unemployed youth in China, which could spark broader public discontent. In August, the unemployment rate among urban youth aged 16 to 24 hit 18.8%, the highest this year. By September, it was 17.6%, the second highest rate this year. A Beijing University study estimated China has 96 million urban residents aged 16 to 24. About half are students, 33 million are employed or seeking work, and 16 million, around 17%, are unaccounted for. The study suggested that if youth not in school, work, or training are included, the real youth unemployment rate might reach 46.5%. This means around 22 million young people are unemployed. Beijing has yet to provide effective solutions for this large unemployed population. For college graduates, the only available support is encouragement to find work in rural or remote areas. Despite yearly promises of a job-first strategy, the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Security's main task is tracking unemployed graduates. Officially, this is labeled as assistance, but it often places them under CCP surveillance. These unemployed youth receive little support from the government. Instead, officials often criticize them. Xi Jinping frequently tells youth to get over their pride and seek hardship. Meanwhile, at the China-Africa Cooperation Forum in September, Xi pledged 360 billion yuan, about $50.7 billion in aid to Africa over 3 years, promising 1 million jobs there. Given these conditions, frustrations among China's unemployed youth is unsurprising. Many are bypassing CCP internet controls to learn about the government's domestic policies and foreign aid, rejecting calls to enlist. Instead, they're opting for a lying flat lifestyle, meeting only minimum survival needs. For Xi, who seems determined to wage war, this youth discontent poses a serious threat. His administration's economic and foreign policy failures have weakened his authority. Over his decade-long rule, he has purged political rivals but remains tied to the CCP. He has alienated factions within the party and lost public support. Xi likely sees taking Taiwan by force as his only way out. Success could restore his authority and secure his power, shielding him from political rivals and public backlash. However, Russia's poor performance in war has disappointed Xi. The prolonged conflict has weakened China's economy, with continuous aid to Russia adding to the strain. Xi is increasingly troubled as young people observing the Russia-Ukraine war grow skeptical of CCP propaganda. They see through the hype about Russia's strength and question the future for those fighting for the CCP. Discontent among China's 20 million unemployed youth is now a growing threat, adding to Xi's worries. At this moment, Kim Jong-un is seizing the opportunity. He distances himself from the CCP, blaming them for his actions, while preparing statements about Xi's leadership collapse. It appears Kim has concluded that Xi's CCP is weak and vulnerable. The relationship between North Korea's Kim dynasty and the CCP has always been based on mutual exploitation, with no real trust. If the CCP shows signs of collapse, Kim Jong-un is likely to exploit the situation. Xi's recent health issues, including a fainting spell, have boosted the confidence of his opponents within the CCP. Elders in the CCP are now more vocal in the resistance. Kim Jong-un reportedly has informants within the CCP who report accurately on Xi's health. Kim, as one of the most concerned about Xi's health, understands that for an authoritarian leader, health problems mean power problems. Kim also knows that most North Korean soldiers sent to Russia won't return. His goal is to benefit from the Russia-Ukraine war by gaining Russian fighter jets, air defense systems, and missile technology. He may also aim to secure nuclear submarine technology and Russian military funds, giving him more leverage beyond Beijing's influence. While North Korea may not get everything it seeks, it will gain some benefits. North Korea has supplied Russia with artillery shells, but stockpiles are low, so further support may cost manpower. Here, Pyongyang's approach is similar to Beijing's. However, unlike Kim, Xi faces setbacks in conscription and internal power struggles, with health issues adding to his fatigue. The recent war developments have dealt a severe blow to his fragile administration. Israel's precise military strikes have shattered the CCP's strategy of binding the people to war. The CCP's fear of U.S. and Israeli decapitation capabilities could lead to the regime's collapse. In a strange twist, sources on X recently reported that a CCP representative proposed an international decapitation ban treaty at the UN. This proposal was dismissed without any discussion.